There has been a lot of hullabaloo concerning Ruto's trip to the United States of America, and section of Kenya and a good number of Kenyan leaders are complaining that this trip is kind of a hustling from Kenyans. Yesterday, United States of America distanced themselves from sponsoring the Ruto's United States of American trip, and a lot of questions are being asked concerning the importance of this trip. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my YouTube channel, and I would gladly like you guys to stay with me up to the end, because there's a point that Kijungu, that is the KTN news anchor, is airing out, and it's to the ending part of this video. Ken Mijungu is talking about how much this trip is gonna cost Kenyans, and I would gladly love you guys to watch that part. Ladies and gentlemen, Ruto's love for the jet or for jets did not start yesterday. In 2013, and I want you guys to watch this clip.
The Deputy President's African trip in May this year touched off a storm when the procurement and use of a private luxury jet was brought to the public domain. Initial reports indicated that the jet was hired for as much as 100 million shillings, a figure that the government has denied, instead maintaining that the jet cost 18.5 million shillings, a cost they claim was a one-off deal. A raging debate and the quest for answers prompting the Parliamentary Public Accounts Committee to launch a special audit with findings expected within 3 weeks. That was in May, and 2 months down the line, the Office of the Auditor General finds itself at pains to complete this report. Officers from the Auditor General's office, represented by his deputies, cited 6 major hurdles to the completion of this task. First, the 18.59 million shilling payment is said to have been made on July 2nd. Only thing is, the payment was reportedly made after the Integrated Financial Management Information System that the government uses to pay had been closed for the financial year ending June 30th, 2013. The other mystery, several local service orders went missing. Some were traced except 2. The serial numbers given as 0855003 and 0855005. But just how do these local service orders work?
When a commitment is made, let's say there is an LPO, an LSO, it is captured in the system. The supplier or the provider of the service is defined in the system. Its details like bank account, whatnot, all those details. Then when funds are available, the money is transferred. Normally these payments are made through the GPay. The money is transferred to the central bank, which now does the final transfer of the money to the recipient's account.
The Auditor General's office has until now been unable to meet with the directors of the jet company VistaJet, and the Registrar of Companies is yet to give information on the jet company's legal status. As such, they have been unable to put a face to these transactions and the company. The procurement is said to have been issued by executive order, which until now cannot be traced. The Office of the Auditor General would also like to make comparisons of such services with previous offices, formerly the Vice President and Prime Minister's offices.
This committee to go a step further and engage now directly with those officers concerned, so that they tell us here that they cannot give the Auditor General those documents. Because this matter, as today, it's as mysterious as it was when the jet flew to Gabon, Mr. Chairman.
In fact, even these documents that are being referred to for having been published in the newspapers, We don't know what was the source of these documents. We don't know the authenticity of these documents. And this matter was of course going down the drain, the classical Kenyan style. All you need to do is to scream thief, and everybody screams after you. So we want this matter to really be done in a professional manner.
I think there's need to dig deeper into the circumstances under which the payment was made, where the system was actually not in operation.
As it stands, the Auditor General's office may take longer than expected to audit the use of Deputy President Ruto's private jet in his visit to Congo, Brazzaville, Gabon, Nigeria and Ghana. And despite VistaJet, the company that owns the jet in question, denouncing the $1 million contract quoted in the media, it appears the dust is far from settling. The Public Accounts Committee has resolved to invite officers to appear on Thursday from the Office of the Deputy President as well as those from the Office of the former Vice President and former Prime Minister, directors of VistaJet Company, the Registrar of Companies and the Nation Media Group, which broke the story, to shed more light on the matter. Jackie Maribe, Citizen Live at 9.
That's it. It tells you how scandalous was that trip. And it expected that this trip, just give it time. Give it time. This trip, one day, will appear on books as one of the most scandalous trips. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have a humble plea. If this is the first time you're into this channel, or you are into this channel for the second time or third time, but you haven't subscribed, please, I would like you to take this minute and click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so that any moment I upload a video, you get notified. But then it's a form of promoting this channel. Just clicking the subscribe button and giving me a like button. You're actually promoting this channel. Ladies and gentlemen, do you think the hustler is hustling us? I read somewhere that this trip that William Ruto has taken to United States of America, it's gonna cost taxpayers money. Taxpayers are roughly 200 million. And I was asking myself, if we have a jet, why don't we make use of the jet that the country has so that we can avoid such expenditure and avoid giving taxpayers the burden of such trips? And there's this leader that was talking in KTN News in the morning, and he was trying to explain something on the private jet that Kenya has, that is the Harambee One. And I'm told that Harambee One was bought by Daniel Moi around more than 30 years ago. And this leader was trying to explain something. Let me play it, then you see it.
Well, first of all, it looks beautiful. Especially if it has a cozy bed and stuff like that. I surely would like to fly in it. Now, I think the question we should also be asking is not so much that it's a private jet, because we have Harambee One, which is about 20 years old, 30 years old in manufacturing, and about 20 years old since President Moi purchased it, way back in 1995. Now, what we understand is there have been issues about, because the president has his own jet, Harambee One, which I would enjoy to see that image landing somewhere else, because it's representing Kenya, as opposed to a jet that does not communicate the message of Kenya. So if, in the wake, of course, of a number of air crashes that have taken place, if there are safety concerns regarding the Harambee One, which is the presidential jet, official one, is it time we sell that jet and get something that's actually going to guarantee safety, but also means that we're not going to be using, of course, a lot of taxpayers' money because they subject, for that. And so many presidents, when on such kind of visits, they use either private jets, or they use national presidential jets. And so we expect that perhaps going forward, we're still going to go back to using our jets, and so there won't be questions.
We have a plane, that's Harambee One, and people were trying to say that William Ruto should have used the plane instead of hiring a plane from Abu Dhabi. That's going to cost taxpayers a lot of money. And Ken Mijung was trying to fragment this thing, the whole thing, into different levels, how it's going to cost us. And it's going to cost us a lot, by the way. Even the 200 billion might be even much lower as compared to what Ken Mijung is saying. Can you listen to Ken Mijung?
Ken, President William Samoei Ruto has flown to the United States via a private jet.
Yes.
Why private jet?
I don't know why he chose to fly private business.
Yes.
They're called business jets.
Yes.
So Ruto should have flown KQ probably, or flown his, I think it's a Fokker to Dubai. And then from Dubai, he would have taken another jet, right?
Yes.
A bigger jet, probably a 380 or something like that. Or alternatively, we have jets here that can do the long range, 15, 16 hours, the 787s, the Dreamliners, right? Which are currently in service in Kenya. And I think we have two, but he chose to fly private. So the jet that Ruto is flying is the Royal Jet, RJU. And you can know that by the call sign. You can not even the tail you will see RJU tail. If you look at the landing gear, the front landing gear, there's also RJU right there. So when you look at that, it's a Royal Jet. Royal Jet is run by a company in UAE. Yes, so he's decided to fly a jet. And that jet, I think the range is between 5,000 to 7,000 kilometers, which means they'll need to have a transition point. But now, because this jet has been modified, they can do as much as 12 hours, I think.
So hold on, Bas. Ken, you mean the Fokker cannot fly directly to the US?
No, very few. You know, from here to the US, the distance is about 17 hours, 16, 17 hours, right? So you need a jet that can carry fuel for that range. Yes, so a Fokker cannot. It cannot do that range. Maximum, I think, also is about 5,000 kilometers, which only takes you to Dubai maximum.
You can't fly. Dubai is around
500. Yes, so, around 5,000. Yes.
The jet that we have for the president is just meant to take them to the nearest point of departure.
Not even the president, even the ones KQ have. Very few of them can do a long range flights. Not even just the president. But, because you know the carrying capacity and the weight of that jet and the amount of fuel that it can carry matters. Yes.
You know, you are talking. This is a hustler jet. This sounds like a hustler jet.
It is hustler jet 2. A BBJ.
Yes. The cost of hiring is what Kenyans would like to know.
Okay.
How much will Kenyans part with
when
the president flies this jet?
You always calculate the cost of hiring a jet based on the flying hours, right? So you divide that running cost, the total running cost of the jet. You divide that with the distance. So if, for example, the running cost of this aircraft, which, by the way, we have identified is a 737, is not one of the new aircrafts, right? It's probably more than 10 years old. It's not one of the new ones, but running cost for that flight per hour is about $6,000
per hour.
Per hour. So that means that if it flies the 15 hours, let me say 15 hours to the US, it's 15 times 6,000, which is about 12 million shillings.
So
minimum
4 days.
No, you don't multiply with 4 days. They only charge you aircraft when it's on air.
When it's on.
When it's on
not
air.
Landed.
No. Landed, the parking cost and all those things, depending on the jurisdiction, there's a way they charge it. But you basically charge aircraft when it's on air. So you do 15 hours. Let's work with 15. We do 15 going and 15 coming back. That gives you about 26. Let's just round it off to 30 million shillings.
And will it be 30 million shillings in Kenyan speak?
Now the problem is this is a VVIP aircraft, right?
The modification.
Yes, the modification first takes it to around a minimum of 20 seats in there. You can imagine a 737, how big it is. That thing has a bedroom uko mwisho. And it has one executive bedroom. Yes, so and executive lounge.
The 30 million is just like the basic.
The basic, if you just want a BB jet, that's a Boeing business jet. That's why it's called a BB jet. Just basic, you and I and Alex just decide we want to fly business. So we get a BBJ and then they'll charge us. That is the amount of money they'll charge us. So there's a lounge, there are very executive seats, there are partitions, right? And uko nyuma there's one bedroom, executive bedroom. So the president wants to sleep because he has an early morning. He sleeps there. Yes. And crew. So you count the number of crew also in the jet.
So Kenyans will actually pay almost 30 million for the president.
Minimum. But remember, this is a president's jet.
Oh my goodness.
So it's going to be above.
A VVIP jet. So it's going to be above.
That
yes.
Being a VVIP is definitely going to come at a certain
and you know why?
Premium cost, you know.
You know why? You know why, Charles? It's going to cost them. Because prior to that jet landing in Kenya, they'll say, we want mursik in the plane. They'll say, I want roasted maize in the plane. Yeah. They'll say, I want kachumbari. They'll say, I want nyama choma in that jet. Yes. It will not be normal because they ask you, what do you want to take in this plane? And they'll ensure they put what you want to eat in that plane. It's not you and I going to eat the normal foods on
the
KQ.
rations.
Yes, normal foods on KQ. No. They say what exactly they want.
So you're saying, Ken, we've identified the jet, we've identified the people, and we've identified the configuration.
Yes.
What do you think was the reason why the president decided this is the cheapest route for me to fly out of the republic?
I don't know why the president chose with the austerity, because I think that's a big question that we need to be talking about, with the austerity trying to save. I mean, 30 million shillings with schools that are not opened and all that. Yeah. It's easier. Let's look at the number of people going. And State House by now should have shared the list of everyone who's traveling with the president. Yeah. I can tell you for a fact, there's a crew that went. There's an advance team that is in the US already. Yeah. Forget the media. There are government officials that have been in the US almost a week ago, right? Yeah. So by now, State House should have told us this is the number of delegation that the president is going with to the US, and this is the reason why they are going to the US, right? So one of the things they'll always consider, they'll say, if we are 50, and all of us 50 are VVIPs, we need to travel